Welcome to the Spoken Geek with Richard L. Evans. Today I will be discussing Robotech and what it means to me as a fan. Robotech came out in 1985 in the United States, and I immediately enjoyed Robotech for many different reasons. Prior to Robotech coming out, I was like most kids. I had been introduced to Ghost Speed Raider, Star Blazers, Voltron, Transformers, G.I. Joe, and so on. But when Robotech came out, there was something definitely different about it from all the other cartoon shows at that time that really spoke to me. The thing that I appreciated about Robotech was the characters. I appreciated that these characters were vulnerable, that you watched them mature, and you watched them evolve and see their opinions about events and people change as the events in the story unfold. One thing I also enjoyed about Robotech, of course I enjoyed the battle scenes. I thought the anime was spectacular, especially for 1985 standards. But I also enjoyed the fact that as a 10-year-old boy, 11-year-old boy, I was starting to like girls, but I didn't know why. I was a little terrified about it. So I really appreciated the way that the Centrati reacted to men and women talking with each other. The way that they interacted and were kind of shocked at first. But the thing that Robotech taught because of that was that emotions are a good thing, relationships are a good thing, and we're better people for having emotions and relationships when we tap into that part of our human experience properly. So another thing that I also enjoyed about Robotech is that things weren't always so black and white as you got with like Transformers and G.I. Joe. They're bad, we're good. That's the end of it. Robotech, you see characters such as Bretai, where they're a villain at the beginning of the series, and by the end of the series, they're one of the most beloved heroes in the franchise. Now, a little history with me growing up with Robotech. My friends made fun of me for liking Robotech. And they just didn't get it. They just didn't get it, in my opinion. And then when we started going to middle school, my friends started reading X-Men comics, and I read X-Men comics too, and I'm also a big X-Men fan. But I still doggedly held on to my loyalty to Robotech. I bought the comic books, recorded all the shows when I could. When I had enough money, I would go out and buy the toys when I could. I would also try to get them on VHS because Robotech, at this point I was living in New Mexico, was a little hard to come by on TV. It was not, like I said, it was not very popular. As I became a teenager, I still was a fan of Robotech. I bought the comic books for the Sentinel series, read the books and so forth. Really enjoyed the Centrati Uprising comic book series and book and so forth. And then as I got older, I joined the military and I got married and had children of my own. And one of the things that I really appreciate is that my son is a Robotech fan. And that's something that him and I bond over. And I have a lot of good memories of him and I enjoying Robotech together, such as when we went down to Albuquerque for a comic book convention to meet the producers of Robotech. And we had a really good time and so forth. And my son made some new friends down in Albuquerque, and he's still friends with them today. The other thing with Robotech is that, like I said, it had character development. As someone who's been in the military, I really appreciate the character of Rick and Lisa Hayes. I appreciate Rick because it was kind of that cocky kid walking into basic training, and then after 9/11, I kind of felt like I could identify more with Rick, as Rick learns and sees what's at stake with humanity and society and the human race. He goes from being a cocky kid to understanding the importance of leadership and responsibility. The thing that also Robotech did is it taught kids my age at that time the realities and the consequences of war. I remember when Roy Fokker died, I was like, wait a second, he'll be back in the next episode. No. Then Ben Dixon was killed off in the next episode, and they stayed dead, and that was kind of taboo back in 1985-86. And you see how Rick deals with grieving for the loss of friends and loved ones, and then the responsibility he has to carry on their legacy and to carry on the fight and to protect people and so forth. The other thing I also appreciated about Robotech was the music. I do believe music has a profound impact on us as people. I can't sing worth anything. I can play it a little bit, but I'm really good at spinning records, so I really enjoy music. And I enjoyed the fact that Robotech had music in it, and music was part of the story of Robotech and part of teaching people to love and also to feel pain and to appreciate that. So that's my history with Robotech. I'm looking forward to a live action movie. I hope that they do a good job with it, that they'll stay true to the characters and that they'll stay true to the story and not try to put in current day politics into the story, that they'll tell the story as is and that they'll be faithful and true to the characters of Robotech. No matter what franchise you like, be it Star Wars, Star Trek, Stargate, three of my favorite franchises in sci-fi, is what I enjoy is the character development. Yes, special effects are great. Seeing exotic places are great and seeing aliens are great, but it's the chemistry between the characters that makes the story. And Robotech has great characters, and they need to make sure that they have actors that can portray those characters and have good chemistry with the actors that they will interact with. So with that, I'll make a different video on who I think would be great actors to play certain characters in Robotech. And for that, I'll just end this video and see you shortly.